The next leg of our journey took us from the Percy Island group to Curlew Island and onto Mackay to reprovision before heading off to Brampton Island. Curlew was just a brief stopover to shorten the sail from the Percys to Mackay Marina. It was calm once we arrived, but getting out of Middle Percy was very rough. We had to motor directly into the wind and swell for a while before turning east into a better wind angle to get to Curlew. Curlew itself was calm, and it was a relief to set the anchor and relax again. We spent 2 nights at Mackay to avoid more crappy weather and took advantage of the bars and restaurants there before the short sail to Brampton.
We've left Mackay and it'll be about 4 hours altogether that it will take for us to get from there to Brampton. It's been a little gnarly in the seas, but pretty good, to be honest. The 22 knot gusts, and we've been sort of somewhere between the 5 to 7 knots as we've come round. But gosh, it looks so pretty. And we've got both sails up, and it's been really lovely to get a sail in and find our way over to Brampton. I've been wanting to come to this island for years. It hasn't been open for a very long time, but to get the opportunity to sail here is pretty cool. But, you know, the camera never shows it properly. We've had swells of, I don't know, close to a metre, but nothing too outrageous, and it's been a good little push along as we've gone, so happy days.
This has been an excellent sail from Mackay Marina over to Brampton. It's fairly sprightly. We've got 20 knots of true wind, so we're feeling about 15 knots of apparent. We're doing between 6 and about 7.5 knots, depending on when we're riding the swell. But it's heartening to know that these conditions are very consistent with the forecast. So whilst the wind has been creeping up to what is now 20 knots, I don't feel like we're out of control in any respect. I don't feel like it's going to jump to 25 or 30 all of a sudden. It's clear skies, there's no squalls, and it's just nice to be in some more sporty conditions and feel comfortable and confident in what we're doing. So I've really enjoyed this one. It's been fairly short, it's only been, I can't remember, 20 miles or something, but a really nice sail. More of these, please. Welcome to Brampton Island. we took the opportunity to explore the old resort that's been closed for several years after being hit by a cyclone. As you ride the tender to the shoreline, the first thing you encounter is the resort pool that's right on the beach. Looking out over the water, it's not hard to imagine how beautiful it must have been in its heyday. It's such a shame to see it in this condition now. The resort itself is cordoned off and you're not supposed to walk in, but you can walk along the beach and look inside to see the old buildings slowly rotting away. There is a caretaker living on site and signs everywhere saying keep out, so we didn't push our luck. It was pretty clear to us that it would take a fair bit to get this resort going again. It wouldn't be a case of just fixing up what was there. You'd definitely have to demolish the whole lot. It was just so badly rotted and deteriorated. Our plan from here will be to go from Brampton up to Goldsmith Island, then on to Shore Island and onwards up to Whitehaven Beach.
So we're getting up to 7.7. We almost were at 8 a minute ago, and it's this new technique of, well, to us, new technique of reefing the main to allow a little bit more wind through to the Genoa. And there's also 15 knots of wind, that helps.
Well, here we are, Goldsmith Island. It's just really pretty. We've got it all to ourselves. It's gorgeous sun today. We had a little bit of rain this morning, but it's just simply spectacular. Colour of the water is amazing. We're on a mooring buoy, which was my first time putting that in. A little bit traumatic, but I'm sure I'll get better at it. And we've woken up to just this today, and you can't help but take big deep breaths of gratitude when this is where we live. This is home, I suppose, now. And it's important to take minutes to appreciate it and to be grateful, because for anyone that's out there doing this full time, certainly when you're beginning, maybe some of you are out there right now, you've been doing it for ages and it's a piece of cake, but when you first start doing this full time, and you know, I'm a landlubber, I don't know about this stuff, and I'm having some ups and downs, because I mean, every 5 seconds I think we're going to sink because the wind is up, or we're coming into an anchorage where I'm worried about how deep we're going to be. And, you know, I need to shake all of that off. And I will. I think it'll just come with experience, and over time I'll just get used to the sounds that go bump in the night, and I'll get used to the idea of what it looks like when the swell is what looks like bigger than the boat. Because when you get this as your reward for getting there, then you really just need to suck it up a bit, princess, don't you? You know, it's all new, and it's all stuff I don't understand, and I'm trying to learn, and you know, I've done as much as I can. I'm reading, I'm watching YouTubes, I've done my competent crew. I'm trying all the things, and I'm doing all of that because this is so awesome. And I'm really glad I'm out here doing it, even though I'm having a couple of minutes of what the hell was I thinking amongst it all. But when you wake up to a day like this and you've got something this cool, then it really is all worth it.
Goldsmith really was beautiful. There's 2 mooring buoys there, and we got the one that's close to the beach, so you get closer to the beautiful shoreline, more protection from the weather, and the security of not worrying about your anchor dragging. It was a great place just to stop and relax for a few days.
we've woken up to a fairly shitty morning, literally. Blackwater tank has exploded and it's everywhere. It stinks. Who knew? Oh God, it's bad. I can't see over the top of him, but he's currently pumping it out of the forward area, the port forward. It's in the floor. It's just not right. It was up to the top of the floorboard, so he's pumped most of it out now, but I can't even describe the smell. It was right up to the top, and I think we just caught it in time, and it happened overnight because the smell wasn't there last night, so oh Jesus.
To explain what happened with our Blackwater tank, in hindsight, looking back now, it's quite clear. It was a combination of factors. You could call it the perfect shitstorm. The first one was that the tank sender in the tank, which measures the level of the contents, it's a metal rod that goes inside the tank and a float attached, which rises and lowers as the tank fills up and empties out. That was stuck on just over, or not, probably just under a quarter full. So when we looked at the gauge, we thought it was quite empty, and in fact it wasn't. The second one was that we were using it for a few days, and I think that time sort of got out of hand a little bit, or we just lost track of time. Thirdly, I didn't appreciate how much water goes into that Blackwater tank with every flush. So what happened was, over time, as the tank did fill up, it got to the point where it just had to go somewhere, and it eventually started to be forced through the seals and into that front bilge area, to the point where it came up through the floor. So it actually, you know, obviously a large amount had overflowed into that area. And what I had to do was, as you saw in the video, pump out that water using a manual pump to get that out of there. Kim had to get down in there and wipe all that out, disinfect it all. What I also discovered was that the macerator pump that we used to actually empty that tank had a bit of corrosion underneath it, and as a side issue, this is not the cause of the major leak or anything, but as a side issue, it also leaked a few drops of black water every time you turn that pump on, and that also went into the bilge. So that kept the smell in that area, but wasn't responsible for the overall massive leak. So I had to get a new macerator pump from Airlie Beach and replace that, and now I'm just keeping the old one as a spare. And it's all back together again. I opened up the top of the tank and cleaned out the tank sender. So that's all working, and it measures the contents of the tank properly again. So I'm hoping now that that won't happen again. The other contributing factor was underestimating the size of the tank in terms of how much fluid that tank will hold, because you can't see that. Even when you take up the floor, you don't get to see the size of the actual tank. It's under some fiberglass area. So that's what happened, and I'm very pleased to say now that that is fixed, and we are optimistically saying that that won't happen again.
From here, we work our way up via Shore Island for a quick overnighter before finally making it to Whitehaven Beach on Whitsunday Island. We hope you can join us then.